If I could find the button. Hello, everybody. It is finally a September team call. It is September 9th, and it is our Tribe Redefine and Friends call. Tonight, I'm going to be focusing on some tips for power hours that are smaller, like power pockets or power 45s or whatever you need to do to keep yourself nice and focused. From what I'm gleaning, we are all in busy seasons, either because we're back to school or our kids are back to school, or just so that we have these in our back pocket. We've talked a lot about strategies for having systems that work. And when Jackie was on the call, she talked about her daily non-negotiables. And these are just ways that you can find your daily non-negotiables and spaces that you could put into them. So I went through the Beachbody Champions page over the last few days, and I pulled some of my favorite tips. And I also have a system that I think I'm going to be following that I just came up with myself. I'm going to give this a try for the next couple of days on the days when a power hour just doesn't happen. And instead of beating myself up, I'm just going to do this. What I would like for everyone to do, if you have any successful points, to share them in the chat right now or at some point. And then also when I'm sharing some time-saving tips towards the later part of the call, if you could just share maybe a time saver tip or something that you make sure you do every day, just so we can get as many pieces of advice as possible. And I will be reading those out loud. So since the chat doesn't record along with us. Okay, so before I really get into that, I just wanted to get a little emotional for a second. This is so silly, and I knew that this was coming, but I forgot all about it. And then a box came last week with another box, two Beachbody boxes, a small one and a big one. We have collagen that comes to the house, Energize, Recover, a couple of things of Recover, a couple things of Shakeology, beach bars every couple of weeks. And they all come at different times from our different accounts just to kind of spread the wealth of volume. So I just assumed it was a collagen, or I assumed it was an Energize, and I let the box sit there for a couple of days. And then I opened it along with the big box, and it was heavy. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I realized that it's the first pillar in the Road to Elite box. And it is really cool, and it is heavy, and it is crystal, and it is pretty, serious. And what's funny is last year I was really bummed out because I didn't hit the first rung of the Road to Elite, and you were getting a backpack. And I was like really bummed because I kept thinking I was getting it, and I wasn't getting it, and I kept planning for it, and Jess was strategizing with me for it and trying to get me there, and it just didn't happen. And I was really upset. And this kind of happened without me focusing on it, instead just focusing on us as a team. And that's what was so extra cool about it. And it just also reminded me of how crucial these power pockets are and how doable these power pockets are. And that anybody, because trust me, my life has not been as crazy in my entire life as it's been for the last, what month are we? 9 months. It's just been one roller coaster after another, one transition after another, one attempt to transition after another, one uphill, downhill. I don't know if anyone else watches tennis. I love watching tennis. And Serena Williams, after her loss in the finals on Saturday, said when she was thanking her team, she goes, we've been through a lot of ups and downs and downs and downs and downs and downs and downs and downs. And hopefully we'll have some ups soon. And that's kind of how I would say, like, if I was to talk to you guys, that's how I would feel personally about my own business and my own leadership and stuff this year, because it's been some ups and downs and downs and downs and downs. But what's so ironic is that's just in my back office. When it comes to these calls, when it comes to the weekly, stuff that's going on, when it comes to the interaction with you guys, it's been all ups. And so my business on paper and on screen doesn't look the same to someone in, Utah who's examining the leaderboards. But this just proves to me that that doesn't matter, because we have come together as a tribe and friends, extended family, in a way that I have only wanted so badly and wasn't really figuring out how to do that. And what was missing is you guys. I've been me and I've been trying, but when you are surrounded by people who are here for different reasons, it's difficult to get this momentum. But I feel as though no matter our position, no matter where we are in our own health journey, fitness journey, our goals for our business, our financial needs, our family size or commitments, whatever it is, we're all banding together because we feel inspired by one another. It's contagious. This momentum, this energy, this passion. It's really contagious. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's here at my house, but it's all of ours and it belongs to everyone. Even if you have no part in my downline, I promise you, I'll just going to use Teresa as an example, that Teresa has just as much to do with this as Jackie and Leslie do, whose businesses affect mine. Because it's someone like her, it's someone like Nicole, it's someone like Leanne and Heather and Stephanie who shows up for these calls and Erica who's there at 5 a.m. It's all of you guys who inspire me to keep going and who are inspiring each other to keep going. And it's wonderful. It's awesome. It's, what is it? It's an honor just to be nominated kind of a thing, but it's for all of us, regardless. So I just want you to first off see what's possible. Know how I bawled when I opened the box because I was just expecting collagen. Imagine my surprise. And just how grateful I am that I get to do this with all of you. And I'm hoping that the Power Pockets that I share tonight help you carve out space so that one of these can get carved for you. I just came up with that on the fly. That was fun. Okay, so maybe my brain isn't scrambled eggs. All right, so let's see. I didn't see any chats pop up, but I know that some people have Success Club points. You can go read it in Team Fit Dynasty. It's cool. 2 4s. Good job. Keep it up. If anyone's at Success Club, you freaking rock. Jackie's at 2. I know I'm at 2. Leslie, are you at 4? 2 4 4. Leslie's at 4. I love it. It's just so cool to see all this happening. All right. So first off, some of the tips, these are coming from Danielle Natoni. Shoot, I forget the other girl's name. I was just watching. She's a teacher as well. I love her Beachbody Champions thing. Jackie, I'm actually going to tag you in it because it was from before you were a coach. I had watched it last year. It's from 2018, and it's really good. Leanne, I'll tag you in it as well, just because from an educator perspective, the timing and stuff that she talks about is really helpful. If anyone else wants me to tag them, I can. So it's between the two of them, and then Keisha Embry also has a document that is eluding me right now, but I know it's on Tribe Redefine at least 7 times. I just can't figure out what I ever called it, where she has these little pockets of time. So I'm going to get into all of those real quick, and then the strategy that I wanted to put together. So number 1 from Danielle Natoni is to make sure you schedule your work time and to schedule your space. And that was what's really interesting. A lot of these coaches keep reiterating the idea that, yes, it's important for us to be able to work in pockets of our time, but that doesn't mean like any 5 minutes that you just pull out your phone and you do something. You still need to have some structure to these power pockets. And perhaps that's been the problem, is we're filling our mom cracks with really quick little activities, but if we could structure those activities, it's helpful. The document, the little cheat sheet that Keisha Embry has, it's every time you pick up your phone, you do one of these little flow charts. So it's not random. It's not, an accident. It's purposeful. And if you do it 5-6 times a day, you do these 5 or 6 different blocks of activity, you will have gone through your power hour to a certain degree. So Danielle Natoni also talks about not just scheduling your time, but scheduling your workspace. Your family needs to know when you are in your office and your door is closed, that is your time. Or if you need to go to Starbucks for 20 minutes, go to Starbucks for 20 minutes. If you need to go sit in your car, if you need to go take a walk just so you can leave voice memos for people, try to create a space and time that's also going to be conducive to your power pockets. Sitting while watching Paw Patrol with your kids, don't do that. Do Paw Patrol with your kids. Going to the playground with them, push them on the swings, and then maybe, tell them for 10 minutes they have to play tag while you sit and do your thing. But make sure it's structured and that there's space where you can be, solo. The next one is to make sure you put your phone in airplane mode when you are doing activities that are sustained amount of time. So if you're working on your newsletter, put your phone on airplane mode. If you are sitting and scheduling your challenge group posts, put your phone on airplane mode. If you are planning out your week, put your phone on airplane mode. It's really, really, really beneficial. Danielle Natoni and all of the people that I listened to all talked about doing that. Another one that is really, truly, truly important, I have found personally, is to work from a computer as often as you can versus a phone. A phone is great, but it's really hard to stay out of the distractions. It's really hard to not just scroll up to your email. It's really hard not to scroll through Facebook and Instagram. These are made for that. So if you can work from a computer, more times than not, you're going to be much more effective. Keep one tab open, or if you need like Coach Office open and Facebook to do the messages or whatever, but you're not toggling back and forth to different activities. And I hate this advice personally for just my multitasker mindset. But we know not to multitask when we're doing this. Turn off your podcasts. If you are a power pocket person at this moment in time, if that's the season you're in, it's not the time to be listening to podcasts. It's just not. Listen to podcasts when you're in the shower and you can't physically be inviting people. Because if you're inviting people in the shower, it's a different business. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Listen to your podcasts when you're doing dishes. Your hands are busy. Listen to podcasts when you're driving and tell your kids to suck it up. You listen to Paw Patrol all day, right? Listen to podcasts when you are not doing your business. When you are doing a power pocket, there's two things you could do. Number one, listen to nothing and just focus if that's the type of brain you are. Or if you're a type of brain like me and you need music, use music to move you. So put on a song, and for the length of that song, you're going to send invites. Or put on a song, and for the length of that song, you're going to work on your post. And when that song ends, you are posting it. No more, moving on, use music to help drive you. But podcasts, if we're going to listen to them, or Audible books, if we're going to listen to them and make them worth something, they can't be a part of our power pockets. Our power pockets have to be focused on our activities. Also, sit down to work. I see everybody is sitting down, everyone that I can see. Sit down to do your work. Just like you shouldn't stand at the kitchen table and eat because you have no control over what the kind of food, or standing at the sink eating the leftovers. You have no control over what's happening. When you're standing, or if you're running around the house and doing things like in between vacuuming and whatever, you're not tracking, you're not being purposeful, you're kind of going on a whim. So sit down, have a notebook to track, have your computer, and really focus. This one I really like. Actually, I'm going to save that one for the last. I forgot. Unfollow other coaches that do not inspire you, or that inspire you far too dang much. And this is a hard one. But and it doesn't have to be forever, but maybe if you're in a really distracted season, you don't need to see what Ashley Molstad is doing. You don't need to see what Julie Voris is doing. I love her to death. But Julie Voris and Danielle Natoni and Jess Bowser Nelson are the first three people that come up on my Instagram other than the ladies on this call, because I adore them and I love them. But I don't need to watch their stories. I don't. If I don't have enough time in my life to work my business, watching their stories is not serving me at all. Watching their stories is also giving me a clue into their way of running the business, which isn't my way of running the business. Watching their stories is going to give me FOMO, make me drool over yesterday, Danielle Natoni creating this lovely housewarming party for her friends, her new friends in Las Vegas, because suddenly she has dozens of them. She's inviting them over. She's giving them goodie bags with her, logo stamped on it, and they're all going to be coaches in a minute, right? And I'm just sitting there like, oh, I need a housewarming party. No, I don't. I don't have a new house. I don't have Danielle Natoni money or time or influence. But that's exactly what the thoughts I was going through. I'm like, how do I get a new house? I can do this. How can I live in Vegas and go to her party? That's not my thoughts. And every time Julie Voris is watching a Broadway show, I want to go to the Broadway show. But that's not helping me move my business forward. So if it's not for us forever, maybe it's just for a season. Unfollow those people, or, hide them or something. Do what you need to do. And if you're working at a Facebook, you can curate your Facebook feed. I've talked about this before, but you might be newer to the team, so I want to make sure that you know this. You can create lists of followers. When you follow somebody, or when you're friends with somebody, you can add them to a friends list. And then you could make your feed only those people. So if you want to make a prospects list and your Facebook feed is only those people, I won't be offended if you stop liking my Facebook posts. I won't, because I am wasting your time. I love it. The engagement is nice and we should support each other within reason. But if the only 5 minutes you spend interacting with mine, Leslie, Jackie's, and Heather's posts, you're not moving your business forward at all. You might be helping ours in the algorithm. Thank you. But I'd rather you help yourself. So please work on friends lists. If you need help doing that, I can walk you through that at another time. But you can easily make Facebook friends lists, or look it up on Instagram or on Google. how to do it. And then you can make different lists. You could have coach prospects, you could have customer prospects, people who are in your free group, new moms, whatever. And when you're in that mode, you just go to that friends list and they're the only people whose news feed you see. You'll be surprised at how many people's information on Facebook you have yet to see in a long time because Facebook isn't showing it to them. We are flooding your feeds because you're interacting with our stuff. Now, the last one, the tip that I was just skipping, it really resonated with me. And it's, we're here to do one task at a time. We're here to schedule our business, to have a workspace, to, unfollow people, all the good things that I've said, not to multitask, to turn off our notifications. This one's hard. It's very hard to hear. It's hard to do, but it's super important. And the times when I've committed to it have gone so much better. And that is to not answer questions and messages on the fly. And there's a few reasons behind this. First things first, you might think, okay, it's one message real quick. I'll just send this message and I move on with my life. But you have done that 7 times today. Add that up. Why not just open the app one time, send the message to everybody and move on? You've now saved yourself 7 times, however long that took you, right? The other thing about that is what you are telling prospects when you respond to them every time they message you is that to be a Beachbody coach on our team, you need to be available 24/7. You do not want to send that message. You will never sign coaches because you are talking to the busy moms. You are talking to the working women. You are talking to the, person who's looking for a solution to scale back or to have more peace, or to have more health, more time for themselves. You answering their message at 2 a.m., at 4:15 a.m., at 8 a.m., at 9 p.m., and every hour in between is sending them the complete opposite message. If they're continuing to message you, you can politely send them a quick memo and say, hey, my working hour, at 3 p.m. I respond to all my messages. I promise to get back to you then. Do that and move on. But they will respect your time if you respect your time and really have those boundaries. So dial in a time. One of the ways that I've done this, and now that I'm in the school year again, I've gone back to this, I've talked to you about it before, I have little things that go off on my phone that tell me the task I'm allowed to do. So in the morning at 5:50, my phone dings and says unplug time. And I put my phone away. If I haven't posted to my Instagram yet, I'm not posting to my Instagram until my first break. At 10:20, when it's our lunch hour, yes, that's my lunch hour. It's brunch hour. At 10:20, it says follow-ups, and that's when I can do my follow-ups if I've done all my schoolwork. At 2:20, our day ends at 2:30, my alarm goes off at 2:20, and that's when it tells me to do challenge group stuff and invites. Like, it tells me what I'm allowed to do, and that's then when I go into my messages, at the follow-up hour, whatever. But really, please stop answering messages on the fly. All right. Now, here's my new strategy. This is NFL. I should have like dun 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 dun. Dun. I don't know. I should do. No one cares. I should do some kind of fun NFL music. The Denver Broncos are playing tonight. They're my favorite team, but here I'm sitting here with you girls because I care about my business. And I was trying to come up with an acronym or something fun to create a quick power pocket that's intense. So, you've done your scheduled time for the day. You've done everything you need to do. Or this is, I'm about to go to bed. Shoot. Shit. I didn't do what I needed to do today. Gosh damn it, mother effer. I didn't do what I needed to do today. Take a few minutes and go to the NFL. And the N stands for new invites. The F stands for follow-ups. And the L stands for love to leads. And I'm going to explain what those mean. Do 5 of each of these and move on with your life. But don't worry, I've got an extra point opportunity. And I've got overtime if you have it. Because I'm really digging this metaphor. So here we go. I wish my music was working. The NFL method of power pocketing are 5 new invites. And I mean new invites. If you talked to this person before and invited them before, they are not a new invite. So I'm talking about those of us that need to hustle. We don't got a lot of time. 5 new people. The first place to look for these people is your stories. The next place to look for these people is new posts. The next place to look for these people is new followers. If you don't know how to find your new followers on Instagram, you click on the people following you, and your new followers should be the first few, okay? And you invite them to something, to coaching, to a challenge group, to a free group, but you invite them to something. These aren't people we're just saying hi to. They're not people we're just sending podcasts to. They're not people we're saying, oh, cool shirt, where'd you get it? actual invites. If I'm in this kind of season, I need to dial it in and I need to do 5 every single day and move on with my life. The follow-ups, these are important, and I want to give you some tips for how to make NFL level touchdown follow-ups. The number one way is to remind someone of their goals. Get out of the generic stuff. Don't just say, hey, we chatted and I'm still thinking about you. Throw what they said back at them. You reached out to me because you wanted to lose 20 pounds by October. Sister, we still got time, but we got to move now, right? Or you reached out to me because, or when we were talking last, you were really worried about your kids' nutrition. Are you ready for me to send you Daily Sunshine yet? I think it would be a game changer. Really bring up to them specifically what their goals are. If you're tracking your invites, if you are paying attention, you should know exactly what those are. That's the first way to follow up 5 of those. If you don't have anyone with goals or you're not sure, another thing, or someone just really dragging their feet, is Bob Heilig method. Give them a rating scale. Say, Jess, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being never ever, 10 being send me a link, I'll purchase now. Where do we stand? I just want to know, and what can I do to move that number higher? Just ask them that. Just be kind of disarming. Another thing that you could do is just, I like to do this and be like, hey, I was just talking to someone who I sent the link to yesterday and hers wasn't working. Is yours working? Like, you kind of play like technology dumb. Have you ever done that? Am I the only one that does that? But like, oh my gosh, Andrea's promo code didn't work. Did yours work? Because I can't tell in back office. I'm not seeing anything. I know they probably see right through me, but I like doing that sometimes when I feel like the other pitches won't work. Also, you can tell them, I just had a conversation with someone who really wants that promo code. You were the one I sent the last one to. If you want it, it's yours, but I want to be courteous to this possible person as well. And then the last thing you can do is just straight up say, what do you need from me? How do we make this happen? What can I do to change your mind? You can be really honest with them. But 5 follow-ups. And then the love to leads are 5 people that you've talked to before. Maybe you've sent invites, maybe you haven't, but you're going to go to their accounts. You're going to love on one of their posts by leaving them a genuine comment, and then you're going to follow someone else who liked it. And you're going to do that for 5 people. So then at minimum, by the end of our NFL little chunk of time, we have sent 5 solid invites, 5 solid follow-ups. We've given love to 5 people, and we've followed 5 new people. It's a nice bare minimum, very simple strategy. It shouldn't take too much time, especially if you're just working from lists. Your invites and your follow-up should be really fast and really simple. And then your love to leads can come from your stories. It can come from your posts. It's very simple. I like to use the text replacements for that. I've got a couple now where I've got certain podcasts or certain recipes, and I'll send those to people to send love to them. Like, oh my gosh, I keep returning to this podcast. If you haven't listened to Lori Harder, she would speak to you immensely. Tell me what you think when you're done listening. And I follow one of their followers as well, or someone who liked their posts. Any questions so far? I'm talking a mile a minute. Kellen's having a disco party up there. Sounded really jazzy. All right, finally. So the last things I wanted to add to that, if you've done your NFL, you get through it all. You've got 2 options to extend it if you've got the time. If not, know that what you've done in that pocket is good enough for now. The first thing is the extra point. If you've got some time, that's when you can go and return messages. You can go and you can look in your Instagram messages, your Facebook messages, your emails, your texts, all that kind of stuff, and you can start returning some of those messages. But if not, if you don't have the time, wait. Use your next pocket of time to really move in on those messages. But if you feel like you have enough time to really dedicate to them and not rush through them and not only skim and get through a few, then make sure you get to you do that at another time. And finally, if you fly through this and you really have a lot of time, I want to suggest you plan out some content. You can create Instagram posts and save them for later. You can edit some photos. You can create some texts. You can pull some quotes, but have a content bank ready to roll, whether it's saved in your Instagram, in a Google Drive, somewhere, but that's really going to help you in the fly as well. Or in those moments where you just don't know what to say, or when you're looking at your Instagram feed and you realize you've got like 17 selfies in a row, it would be a good time for a food picture. I've got a good one saved. Here's a recipe, and I share it out. or it's been a lot of my kids. Let me throw in a workout. I've got a good picture. I've got a workout clip. I've got text, and I just send it out. So that's the overtime. When you really need to go in for the win, have yourself some time with some content already batched and ready to roll. And I think that these tips are going to help us all. This is what I'm going to commit to. I'm guaranteeing myself at least 3 power hours a week. Saying a daily power hour, I realize, is just completely unrealistic. My teaching schedule is, unless I don't sleep ever, I can't physically do what I wanted to commit to. So I'm going to commit to a power hour 3 days a week. This way, if I only get to 1 full hour during the week, I'll do 1 each day over the weekend. And then the NFL every day, even the day that I do the power hour, and I'm going to commit to that. And I hope that you guys find the system that works for you. This is just an idea. That's really the biggest piece of the puzzle too. I'm going to keep talking for a second. You got to find what works for you. If I could freaking pull up Keisha Embry's little cheat sheet there, I will make sure I put that in the team page, or at least tag it when I, or add a comment when I post the recording of this. There are so many ways you can develop your own power pockets. Like Jackie has her non-negotiables. You can use the Success Club tracker and chop it into a couple pieces and go from there. You just need to plan it out. It's not going to be happening if you're doing it random. You're like, well, I think, what did I do last time? I think, let me just like some posts, and then you end up just watching Shalene videos for 20 minutes and not actually doing anything. So you have to be aware, if you're chopping up your time, it's doable to be consistent, and it's doable to move forward, and it's doable to get one of these freaking things on your desk, but you got to track it, and you got to pay attention to what those activities are, even if they're 5 minutes long. Okay, girls? Any questions? Okay, I want you to pick your Power Pocket method and do it before you sign off. So do the NFL, touchdown, find Keisha Embry's thing, wherever it's hidden in Tribe Redefine. I know I've shared it at least 7 times. It's on Beachbody Champions. I just don't know.
I can't find it either, but I have it printed somewhere downstairs. So
Yeah.
you must have given it to me.
I know. I thought it was under photos. It's not under photos. It's not under, maybe it's under files
I looked in the files. It's not there.
It's not in Tribe files, but I'm looking in Champions.
Oh. I don't know.
It's really good.
And it's not saved on my computer, which I don't know why.
It was saved on my other computer. It's not saved on this one.
I don't know.
Wednesday coaching power hour tracker. Let me see. Search this group. How does she spell her name? I knew her name was odd. Oh, that's hysterical. Melissa lived by this for a long time. Man. Oh. Does anyone else hear Kellen crying, mommy? Am I the worst? Ugh. All right. I'm going to go rescue the demon. Thank you, girls. I'm going to just stop recording, but I'll hang around. I'll be back later if everyone's still, and if